Hi guys, my name is Madeline.
My name is Arisha, and we're with Bay County Extension Office.
First, we need to put on our apron, tie our hair back, and then wash our hands. Okay, the products that you see in today's video
Are not promoted by UF-IFAS. They are strictly used for food demonstration purposes.
Hi, I'm Melanie Taylor, and I'm the Family and Consumer Science Extension Agent in Bay County, Florida. What we're going to talk about today are eggs. First of all, eggs are very important and very nutritious in our lives. So if you like eggs, you should definitely think about them as something you're going to want to eat and encourage it to add it into your diet if you're not eating them. They are full of protein. The yolk is definitely the part that's most full of protein. If you have a cholesterol problem and you know your cholesterol is high, you probably don't want to eat more than 1 egg a day, but you can always follow up with your doctor on that. But if that's not an issue, you want to incorporate these in to giving you plenty of protein for your muscles. And if you've had any kind of surgery or you need to heal from something, this is the kind of protein. It's considered a pure protein, and it helps your muscles regenerate and grow. Same thing with scarring. So what we're going to start with today is we're going to make an omelet. These are super simple to make on your conventional stovetop. And what we're going to do is just make a 2-egg omelet with cheese today. Very basic. Most kids love this, and a lot of adults. If you want to add something to it, you can add all kinds of vegetables from mushrooms, spinach, onions, tomatoes, peppers, anything you can think of. Asparagus would be good too. But what I'm going to do is just go over the basics of an omelet today, and we're going to see how it turns out. I'm actually going to use olive oil in the bottom of my pan. You can also use the spray if you have that. So the first thing, Zai, we want to do is we want to actually crack our eggs. Hopefully not get any shell in there. We'll be careful for that.
That sounds good.
There you go. And this is going to be a 2-egg omelet. So this would be for a single person. And then if you're going to make multiple ones, you could use a bigger pan. But we're just going to make individual sizes today. Thank you. All right. So if you want to whisk that, one thing you want to do when you're making an omelet is you want to make it really airy. So you want to try and get your wrist moving fast and get some air into your eggs there, because that's going to make them the fluffier and the more air you can get into them. At the same time, I am going to add a little bit of water. And the reason you do this is it will make it a little bit more airy. And if you have older eggs, and I'm not talking about expired, but they've been in the refrigerator for a week or two, they can dry out a little bit, and that will give them that little bit of moisture added back in. That looks perfect.
Right.
So we're going to start our stove top over here. And I don't like to start it on high because then it'll be too high and too hot when you add them in. But we're going to we've got a little bit of olive oil in there. There we go. And just spread that in there. We're going to let that heat for a second, because you do want it to be warm. But you definitely need to add some kind of oil in there, whether it's cooking spray or olive oil, because it's going to help. Even though that's a non-stick pan, it will help the egg come out better when you're ready to pull your omelet out.
Oh,
okay. All right. What type of omelets do you like?
I love to put vegetables in my omelets. So whether it's mushrooms, bell peppers, onions, those are always my favorite.
Perfect. All right, let's see. Does it feel warm to you over your hand?
Could take a little bit longer.
Okay. So now Zai is actually going to pour her airy eggs that she just whisked together with a little bit of water into the frying pan that's got oil in the bottom, and it's a little bit warm but not hot. One thing with omelets is you got to have a little patience. You can't rush the heat, and you also don't want it to be too low, because then it will take a long time. But you need your eggs to cook all the way through, because we know that we can get sick if we eat raw eggs, and they're known for having salmonella. So we don't want to cause that kind of problem.
Right.
So we are going to make sure what it needs to do is it'll harden on the very edges first, and then it's going to start to harden inside. And when the majority of it looks cooked, we'll add in the rest of our ingredients. And like today, we're just going to use a little bit of cheese. This is just the 4 cheeses that are mixed together. We've got salt and pepper, and that's really to taste, whatever you like. And we've got a little bit of parsley. So you basically can add anything you want. You don't have to use fresh parsley. You can use dried herbs. You can use fresh vegetables. Anything you can think of that you like with eggs, you can add in there. I'll move that out of the way. And do we get seeing anything? You want to shake this about just a little bit, try and spread it out, get it ready for cooking. So as you can see, in the pan here, some of it's starting to harden on the bottom there. You're not going to want it to be hard and burnt, but you definitely want to give it time for all of it to slowly cook through. So sometimes you just want to give that a swivel, make sure that the egg juices are spread out into your omelet, and we're just going to let it cook a little more before we add our ingredients. You want to take the spatula and just go around the edges and see if it starts to pull back any. Yeah, just go all the way around it like that.
Okay.
So it's definitely getting close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want that. There you go. Perfect. Spread that out. And if you've ever been in a restaurant where they're making the omelets really fast, you see them spreading it like that. They cook it on way higher heat than we are because they're used to doing it all day long. But once you're a pro at it, you can cook them on higher heat, but just don't want to burn them or dry them out too much. All right, let's see if you can start scraping up the sides at all.
Let's see.
Not quite. Okay. Yeah, and you just kind of try it until you feel like it's pretty solid. And you get that last little part there cooked. First thing she's gonna do is place her cheese into her omelet. And we're gonna flip this omelet in half, so she's just gonna put her ingredients on one side. Put as much cheese as you want. A little bit of parsley. And then you can salt and pepper it to taste. If you don't like salt and pepper, just leave it out. If you like it, put as much as you want in there. Same thing with salt. If you are on a low salt diet, or your family member is, then just remember when you make theirs, either add very little salt or no salt at all. Okay, and you're ready to flip it whenever you want to fold it over. It's coming up nicely. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If it doesn't flip perfectly, it's still tasty. That's all right. Keep rolling.
Rolling, right.
Yep, like a
Trying to find a way.
burrito.
Oh, look like it.
Yep. Give it just a minute. Yeah, smush it down a little bit. Let it brown a little bit. Get that cheese nice and melty on the inside. And, you know, an omelet can be any shape you want. You can make it into a burrito. It doesn't matter. It's going to taste the same no matter what.
So what would be good on the side of the omelet to eat with it?
Side of fruit. Maybe some hash browns. If you're eating it for breakfast, you know, and you want to add a little starch. But definitely some fruit. I think asparagus would taste good next to that, personally. If you don't like asparagus, you can have any other kind of grilled vegetable. You can have a side of bacon with it.
Oh.
Just put the plate down low.
Yeah,
Scoot
it
on
just
there you
doesn't
go.
like to.
Perfect.
Oh.
So
We'll flip it on the better side.
All right, bring it up close. Looks great. All right, so here's our finished product. Zai made a cheese omelet. She added some salt and pepper and parsley on the inside. And then we've garnished it here a little bit with some parsley, and we've added some crispy carrots, some strawberries and blueberries to give you a little bit of extra nutrition. So we've got our protein with the egg, we've got dairy with the cheese, we've got fruit, and we've got vegetables and a few herbs mixed in. So that's a well-balanced meal. And look at how good and yummy this looks on the inside. You can tell the cheeses have melted together and the omelet looks perfectly fluffy.